Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman29, and I came on YouTube, and there's a great debate going on about the Ebionites. If you watch all the videos, you're going to learn a lot about this group and the conflicting views about it. And one YouTube user who I'm subscribed to was asked to provide primary evidence that the Ebionites did not believe in the virgin birth. There is no primary evidence to that. Everything was destroyed by the proto-Orthodox movement in their rise to power and to eliminate texts. So we only have the sayings of the early church fathers on quoting from the text of the Gospel of the Ebionites and the Gospel of the Nazarites in their writings. So apparently some of these texts were floating around and were embedded in early church fathers' writings against heresies in the late 1st and 2nd and onward after that. So there are no primary sources. However, I still am under the impression that they did not believe, because I'll tell you why. If you want to know something about, say, somebody, and you want to get all the dirt, you ask their ex-wife, and she'll tell you everything, and she may even make up some things. However, you can take it with a grain of salt, probably the bad things that this person did. So, when you read the church fathers, many times, Eusebius, Irenaeus, and all the way up through, complaining about the theology of the Ebionites and how they didn't accept the virgin birth. And from that we can see that they were most annoyed by this, and they were most annoyed by this teaching. And it's speculated that the Ebionites may have been like the people found in Acts 4:32-37. However, some believe that they may be proto-Gnostics in the Christian movement that was addressed there in that particular text. So we could have proto-Ebionites, which later evolved into a more refined idea. We have proto-Gnostics and proto-Orthodox. So all these early Jesus communities were still duking it out when the primary sources and texts were being circulated. Primary sources maybe were not even primary sources. Accounts were written, say Matthew and Luke. Texts were eliminated, chapters were eliminated, chapters were added, things were moved around in order to conform to those ideas that ascribe to those particular groups. And what we have today is a result to that, to the extent of what we don't know. We don't even have copies of the copies of the copies. So, I would look at all the church fathers, do a big search, it's not that hard, and you can see plainly that they're very upset about something. And that something was the divinity of Christ and the virgin birth. So, based on secondary, third and fourth and fifth sources, yes, as the belief system became more refined, the more the proto-Orthodox and the Orthodox movement yelled about it. And so that's how we can see how the beliefs of the Ebionites evolved. And it's just part of textual criticism that people have to get used to, because the texts are not very clear about that sort of thing. And as we lost all the primary sources, you would not even be able to go back and prove that they actually did believe in the virgin birth. So take care, YouTubers, and love the debate and love the exchange, because it's through these kinds of wranglings that we end up learning a lot about ourselves and other ideas that are floating around. So remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.